Hello and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. Sorry for the delay on getting this video out, but busy weekend, busy stuff going on, and just didn't have the time to film or put this together. So we're here now, and today we're going to be in the verdant, vibrant hills of Connecticut to review an album from a band that, lyrically and sonically speaking, sound like they come from a place that's just a little bit less on the pretty side. Yes, it's metalcore mainstays Currents and their new album, The Death We Seek, out May 5th on Sharp Tone Records. This is the band's third album, and there hadn't really been a massive gap between records. Their previous release came out just 3 years ago. So, a band with a typical album cycle, a typical metalcorean bend, and a ton of kind of typical stuff. It's kind of been a while since we've had a band like this on the channel. How they do? Let's jump in and let's find out. First, this is definitely my kind of metalcore. The clean and the rough balance against each other to absolute perfection as the band plow their way across a fairly straightforward musical map. Situationally proper touches of heaviness are added to give the album a very chunky production in places, while the more traditional metalcore side will come in on along the sides to kind of zip things up. The entire package is terrific as a whole, with efforts to please both death and metalcore fans alike. So, now that that's out of the way, let's dive in and see some of the individual parts that make this record work on a number of levels. Now, it has to start somewhere, and that is right at the top of the mix, the vocals. Brian Willey offers the vocal performance of the year so far, in my opinion, no matter what the genre of metal is. While there have been some fantastic performances so far, I don't think anyone has quite matched this level. I'm always appreciative of a band where the vocalist is exactly what they need to be, and that is really what we have here. Willey does both rough and clean vocals on here, and each one is absolutely on point. The rougher stuff takes cues from the August Burns Red, Unearth, and Botch side of metalcore, with touches of these almost Chelsea Grin or Thy Art Is Murder or Carnifex-style deathcore vocals thrown in here and there. He can get really guttural at points on this album. Meanwhile, the clean vocals harken more to bands like We Came As Romans and Memphis Mayfire. Musically speaking, the djent influence is real here. I mean, seriously real. There's a ton of stuff that you might hear on a Periphery release or a Monuments release all over this album. It's got that chugging guitar work and the bombastic writing that those bands are known for. However, it does manage to rein itself in and offer something that's a tad less exhausting and way more singable. The guitar work on here is especially notable, with Chris Wiseman and Ryan Castaldi paying a ton of homage to the down-tuned chug fests of other bands, yet offering their own touches here and there. Let me be clear, this is by no means a Neo-Meshuggah ripoff. This is metalcore meets djent with a lot of thought and care put into each note and phrase. Of course, no album would be complete without the rhythm section, and Currents has one of the best drum and bass performances of the year so far. Skinsman Matt Young is excellent, offering these double kicks to match each guitar note, while bassist Christian Polgarin thumps along in the background nicely. He's also the backup unclean vocalist on here, and he does a very, very good job with it. I love it when bands sort of play with clean vocals up front while these great heavy growls run the undercurrent. It all works together beautifully, tying up a performance that will be sure to please listeners everywhere. Finally, we have the album's complete production, which draws, again, from both the metalcore and the deathcore world. And it is fitting, because the record has two producers. One is Ryan Letrue, formerly of Christian metalcore heavyweights and one of my all-time favorite bands, For Today. The other is Wiseman himself, who plays guitar in a little deathcore project called Shadow of Intent. And if you're a Halo fan or a deathcore fan or both, I'm fairly sure you've heard of this group. Anyway, it's interesting to hear this take on modernized, djent-influenced metalcore from two guys who come from such disparate backgrounds. There's a bit of odd and ironic dichotomy on here, but overall, each influence is placed in just the right spot. If I had anything negative to say, and trust me, there's not much, it's that this can turn into what I refer to as metallic elevator music somewhat quickly. more specifically, this is one of those albums that if you get caught up in doing other things while you're listening to it, you can forget that it's on. However, if it's actually taken with the proper care and the time that you need to listen to it, it's one of the most enjoyable releases of the year. I will say this. It's not quite my favorite. It's very, very good. A very good album, but it's not quite to the level of Insomnium's new one. Yeah, that one's the only perfect score of the year so far, and this one wasn't quite there. That doesn't mean there won't be another perfect score this year, but this one it was great, a great album, but not quite perfect. However, it is one that I will be returning to with great frequency. I'm giving The Death We Seek by Currents a 4.5 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like, and please don't forget to subscribe for more Metallic reviews. Next week, oh boy. Yeah. Okay, next week's the week. Yep, next week's the week. We're going to have to pound our way through Travis Ryan lyrics around here. Yep, that's just what we're going to have to do. For you guys, for this channel, for everyone out there who somehow stumbles upon this and watches it, we will be reviewing Perennial Sunshine Bringers, Cattle Decapitation, and their new album, Terracite. I hope you'll join me, and please, for the love of all things good, eat a burger beforehand, because Ryan's always cringeworthy lyrics will make you proud you've done so. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music. I will see y'all next time.